Hey everybody, welcome back to a Friday video, Trucker Money number 43. It's been a while since I did this, trying to get back into the swing of things. Been just incredibly busy with everything, growing the business, being involved in that, working on equipment, just putting out fires all day long. And glad to be back doing this, at least if only for one day, I guess. Trucker Money, we talk about all things personal finance. You work hard all week, rates are good, making all this money. What are you going to do with it? You're going to use it to change your life? Or is it going to come next year this time and you're going to wonder what happened to all this money and what you did with all that opportunity? So I like to get together on Fridays and just talk about that. Personal finance, investing, debt, credit, whatever. All things money. Kind of set trucking aside a little bit. Kind of what I like to do, take a break from that. This will be number 43, the week of June 14th through the 18th. I'd like to talk about any side income, passive income, income outside of trucking, and what it made like moves with investments and such for the week. So a couple things happen on the side here. It's been a while since I did this, so I got a lot of catching up to do. I'm just going to talk vaguely about how things have gone in the last month or two since I've been away. Still have the rental property rent come in once a month, first of the month. Just came in here for June, so that's nice. That kind of works in the background while we're busy doing these other things. That's kind of my goal. We'll get to more of that in a second. Little bit of income from YouTube here. Still pretty modest, but do appreciate all of it. Thank you. And or maybe a couple dollars a week from the MUDFLAP app. If you haven't used that, check out the links in the description below. Find out more about the MUDFLAP app. If you buy your own fuel, you're going to want to see that. So for the passive income dividend portfolio, that's kind of what we like to talk about here. Own 50 some different stocks that pay me every week of the year, dividends, distributions, and kind of works in the background. And that's kind of the theme today. We'll just go through this week because no time to go all the way back for all the weeks that I missed here. This week, who paid Unilever, 3M, Stag Industrials, Realty Income, one of our favorites, just raised their dividend again. Beatrice paid their first dividend since their spinoff from Pfizer. Duke Energy and Prudential, they all paid this week of the 14th through the 18th of June. While I've been away all this time, we've gotten numerous dividend increases for doing nothing more than just being a loyal shareholder. It'd take me a long time to go back and write them all down, so I think there was more than 10 that I missed here while I was away. And I really haven't bought anything for the last couple of months here, but this week I did make a couple purchases just because I had a little bit of money sitting in there and I wanted to commit it to the market. I bought a little bit of UGI, utility, Kimberly-Clark, AFLAC, Beatrice, FDVV, which is a Fidelity high dividend income fund, and Campbell Soup. I'm a buyer of Campbell Soup right now. Want to have a bigger position in that company. I thought I was done, but I'm seeing some things that I like and I want to pick up more of it. So that's all I did. That's all the moves I made this week. Incidentally, this is not financial advice. This is just me sharing my personal journey because I want to motivate and inspire people to do something. Whatever it is, do something for yourself. It's not going to happen on its own and nobody's going to do it for you. So find what it is that's for you and do that. Now, in regards to the stock market, everybody's screaming it's overvalued, it's going to crash. And yes, it is overvalued. Yes, it might very well crash. Everybody's saying, oh, everything is too expensive right now. That is not true. There are things to be had that are reasonably priced. Maybe not on a bargain, but fair value. I mean, there's thousands, more than 5,000 different stocks in the market. You can't possibly know every one of them. So to say every one of them is overpriced is a general statement that would just make people throw their hands up and say, well, let's not, instead of rather go find those values or those fair values of solid companies. I don't think it's doing anybody disservice. In general, yes, I will say it is overvalued. In general, yes, it is. But I don't tend to commit money to those types of companies that are in that situation in the first place. So I don't really worry too much about it. And yes, it's going to go down. Yes, it's going to crash. That's what happens. But if you're confident in your investments and the companies you invest in, I look at that as somewhat of a buying opportunity. If things crash, I want to buy more General Mills. I want to own more 3M. I want to own more Johnson & Johnson. I'm waiting for a buying opportunity in these companies. If all these companies like that we need in our daily lives and our lives depend on go belly up, guess what? You ain't got anything to worry about anyway, because you're just going to wipe your butt with your money, and it's going to be a very, very different world. Do I care if Facebook goes belly up? No. I would never invest in something like that. It's not my style, and everybody has to know their goals and abilities and their style and their investment style. Also, the elephant in the room right now is inflation. There's a lot of inflation going on for various different reasons. A lot of people like to pin it on one thing. There are some things that are largely to blame, but there's a lot of things going on here. This whole supply chain disruption, shortages, political environment, sociological environment. You can go back to quantitative easing. You can go a lot of different places. Manipulation of interest rates, on and on and on. It's not even worth going on and on about. It's a different topic, but be aware of that when you're talking about your money right now. Prepare yourself for inflation. I am trying to buy things that track inflation. So everybody's got to have their own strategy on that. Maybe we'll talk more about that in another video. I've already talked about that in the past. I don't even want to get too deep into it, but that's just worth mentioning. It's really been happening here while I've been away, and it's a little bit scary, to be honest with you. It kind of is. Let's talk about today why. Obviously, it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos, and I want to talk about a little bit of proof of concept here. Maybe not proof of concept, but why I do what I do. Okay, there are people that watch this pretty regularly. You've known since the beginning of the year here. I've been expanding my business, and it's going well. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. I will tell you that. There's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of late nights. And has it been all worth it? We'll see. We're still experiencing a lot of growing pains. In addition to the additional responsibility, there's a lot of things like capital management and debt management, and it's definitely a learning experience. I've enjoyed it despite how much work it is, and that's where I've been committing all of my 100% of my time and 100% of my money. I've been investing very little since then because I've made huge investments in equipment and bringing people in, like systems, computers and what have you, this and that, and software. So that's what's taken all my time and money. And why is that important to me? Because it's proven to me, and I'm only talking about for me, the system that I've set up with my investments and my money and my financial situation is working. It is exactly what I wanted, and it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. And what I mean by that is I've tried to set up my investments in my personal things that they take a bit of time up front to do the homework, set things up, and then I can just kind of step back and let them be, and they throw off passive income to me. Now, another way to do that is to do the work up front, sit back and let it grow, and hopefully then when you're ready to retire, whatever, there's a large chunk of money there. I've chosen to go a different route for me because of the things that I've modeled out. This is a better plan for me. You decide for you. But I've been sitting here doing all this work for my business, and I literally have not. I used to check my Fidelity account like every day. I haven't checked it in weeks. And I checked it, earlier this week, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I was planning. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Just continues to throw off income week after week, every week of the year, and I do nothing. I did all the homework up front. All I really have to do now is just kind of monitor, make sure none of these companies commit some kind of massive nonsense, or there's not a disruption in their industry. Watch the bigger picture, okay? All the detailed work has been done at the beginning. So I like that, and it's going to continue to happen. All I have to do is commit money to it, and I'll get back there over time when the business kind of stabilizes. We're still kind of waiting for a stabilizing point. The same with real estate. Okay, you do the work up front, buy the property, find tenants. Along the way you'll have to find additional tenants, but then you sit there and you just let it be, and it's passive income for me. And this is the last 6 months has reinforced this for me, that passive income what I want for me for my life. Growth, you'll get some growth along the way. Growth comes with it. But is it going to grow like a Netflix? Most likely not. It's not. But I also don't take on the risk of something like that either. You spend all this time going down the road, thinking, daydreaming, planning for the future. I gotta go get this money. I gotta get a truck. I want to be an owner operator. I want my own authority. Because you see dollar signs. Well, then what? Have you ever thought of that? The then what part? What do you want your life to look like? And what are you willing to do to get it? I've known people now recently that have become an owner operator, and they say, I'm an owner operator. Now I'm going to make all this money. Well, you're not putting the work in. When you become an owner operator or whatever, it's more work. It's not less. You can't take more time off. You probably are going to take less time off. Maybe down the road in the future, after years of doing this, you get more time off, but you just don't get it right away. Okay, you got to build your business. You're probably making good money as a company driver right now too. What are you doing with this opportunity? What are you building for yourself? Are you squandering it? Are you any better off for rates being high this last year than you were before? And if you are, congratulations. Well done. More power to you. You're winning. But too many people, they're living too fat right now. This is an opportune time. This last year and the next few months and months to come is the opportunity to change the rest of your life. Are you going to do it? It doesn't take a lot. If you're young, small amounts of money put away can change your life forever. It's going to take time. It's going to be till you're 50 or 60 or 70 years old. But if you don't do it, it's not going to do anything. If that failure to start is a lot of people's biggest enemy. And also, don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. No plan is perfect. My plan isn't perfect. My life isn't perfect. Things don't go perfect for me, trust me. But you keep trying. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep going. And while you're sitting behind the wheel going down the road, just don't look at the dollar signs of trucking and the next load. Think about what you want your life to look like. What it's going to take to get there. What it's going to take to get it. What it's going to take to change your family's life and your children's life and your grandchildren's life. You guys have a good rest of the week, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.